speak to people when they hear it. So GenWEL United is a abbreviation for generational wealth. And so generational wealth, a lot of people associate with money and riches and tangible physical things. But generational wealth is so much more than that. And we wanted to make sure that we express the need for our people in our communities to understand what generational wealth actually is and how to obtain these streams of wealth, if you will.
So that's a good point. So uh, when you say generational wealth, right, you think
Mhm.
of your ancestors leaving behind something for you so that you can continue to survive. But it's
Mhm.
like you said, it's much more than that. Can you go a little deeper into explaining exactly what generational wealth is?
So to piggyback on what you just said, you're right. It is that. It is your ancestors leaving behind something so that you can survive and not only survive but thrive. Because generational wealth means that you have the means and the opportunity to do, be, explore all of the things that you would like to do in your lifetime, all the while creating a platform and a system that creates more wealth for the people that come behind you, your children and their children, and so on and so forth. So when we get into discussing generational wealth, we're talking about financial literacy. We're talking about education, and education on all levels, not just college educations, but education on all levels. We're talking about home ownership. We're talking about emotional intelligence. EQ is very important in generational wealth because it allows you to build on the observations of your own action, on your own actions and your own personality. So there are a lot of different facets to generational wealth that we try to attack from every angle, and that's what we do.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Very nice. So, what are some of your missions or projects right now within your organization to start impacting communities and generational wealth?
So we have a few. We've been in existence. This is our second year, and we have a few different initiatives that are running right now, and we're always uh, working because we want these projects to be run in perpetuity. We don't want to end a project so much as we want to ascend that project to another level. So one of the projects that we have going on right now, which we are rolling into the giving season. So we have two initiatives, and they're under our GiftWell platform. So the first initiative
Okay.
is called Give Well, and that is the Thanksgiving initiative. So this program, what we do is we have representatives in 4 states, and in each of these states, we target the communities and the people who are in need of food, of resources, and we try to be a bridge to those resources. A lot of times, we actually provide those resources directly. So we're running concurrently uh, food drives. We have a partner down in South Florida that actually does prepackaged meals, pre-prepared meals. I say prepackaged, but pre-prepared meals.
Nice.
And up in Flint, Michigan, we also will probably be doing a coat drive as well as a box, a care package distribution.
Have you ever been
So
to Michigan in the winter?
yeah, yes, indeed, I have.
They need some. Let me
They
tell
need
you, it's
coats,
freezing.
hats, they need scarves, they need full face masks. It is
Yes,
crazy in Michigan in the
absolutely
winter. Yes,
ridiculous. I
lake
remember
effect weather.
sliding on ice and busting my tail. But anyway,
Oh, man, yes. But no, I'm with you. So yeah,
carry on.
so we try to address the needs in these areas that need addressing, And even though there are organizations that do this and do it very well, we think that one of the things that we try to establish with the people that we help is a relationship, so that we can communicate outside of Christmas, outside of Thanksgiving, outside of any holiday that could foster a particular drive to some degree. So relationship is very important with us. We partner with community organizations and people who just want to see change, and that's that's one of our largest actions, is trying to be the change that we want to see in the world.
Nice, very nice. It is holiday season, right? So
It
if
is
everybody's out there listening, start thinking. It's time to put ourselves in that mindset, right? To not
hmm
um, think so much of ourselves, but to start thinking of others, as
for
we
sure.
should all year long, right?
We should indeed,
But now
yes.
is really that season, the season of giving. Okay. Um, so I know that have done some projects, right? I had the
hmm
pleasure of joining your organization at a cookout that took place
hmm
in Atlanta, Georgia, in Gwinnett
Yes,
County. Can you
yes.
tell my audience a little bit more about that particular opportunity that we had to come together as a community, and the purpose behind it?
So the GenWEL Summer Cookout of 2021, our first annual. It was a great success. All of you guys turned out. It was so beautiful. It was nice to see all of our people together having a good time. Some family, some friends. A lot of people didn't know each other. However, they all came together and did what we should always do, which is just fellowship and love one another in the space that we're in. One of the things that I learned from this event is that it is not easy to put together an event.
Not at
So,
all.
we have these conversations, right? And we say, oh man, we should just go and do this, and we should just go and do that. And then when you start doing it, you realize real quickly that, man, this is a this is a project. Like, you have to really dig in. It is not, most of the things are not given to you easily. You make a plan, and then things just tend to kind of slide off the plate, if you will. And you have to make do. You have to adjust. But the great thing was is that we were able to actually adjust, and we had a really good time. Everybody that we talked to said they had a good time.
Well, it definitely was a good time. To your point, just meeting other people, right, and understanding their interests, and watching everybody out there doing the cha-cha shuffle, or
Right.
dancing on the
Or
dance
the
floor.
yeah, yeah, the
It was
electric bounce or
hot,
whatever the
but it
kids
was
are
a good
calling it. Yeah.
time.
Yeah, no, it was very hot. It was a hot day. It's July 31st, and it was probably one of the more hot days that we had in a while, because it's been pretty cool in Atlanta. But everybody came out. They had their fans, and we had plenty of water, and so it was a good time. It was a good time.
Indeed, indeed. So you said it was your first annual, so I assume that this is happening again next year.
Indeed, it will be happening again next year. And as a matter of fact, we have it happening twice. So we'll be doing a pre-Juneteenth event that will take place in Flint, Michigan.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll be partnering with an organization called the Ballinger Square Community Association, and there is this place called Ballinger Park, and it is a beautiful amphitheater, and it has space for kids to play, and food trucks and all types of things. so
nice.
so so we're planning on really having a good time next year for the June, to celebrate the Juneteenth holiday. We won't be there on Juneteenth, but it will be a pre-Juneteenth
Celebration.
gathering. Yes, indeed.
Understood.
So,
Understood.
and then we
Awesome.
also have our second annual Atlanta GenWEL Summer Cookout, and we're sourcing the location right now. So more info to come. So stay tuned.
Okay. Okay. Exciting. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I know that we're just talking about your outreach and your projects that you've been working on. I also
Mhm.
understand that you and your organization went to Flint for a community cleanup. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the community organization that I spoke about prior, the Badger Square Community Association, they have a place, a plot of land that they converted into a park, and it's called Peace Park. And the city is still working out the logistics of getting it on the map. So if you look for it, you probably won't find it. But it was a really good opportunity for us to get into some of these communities that we identify are communities that need what we provide, and we do have representation in Flint as well. So it really made it easy for us to go and create some momentum as far as building with the community. So we got there and we got right to work. Right off the plane, we drove over to the park. We started the cleanup process. There were a couple guys there also that were very, very helpful with equipment and just labor. These guys, they worked tirelessly from the time we got there till after we left. They were still there, manicuring and making sure that all the space that people wanted to be able to congregate in was clear of any debris or any brush or anything. It was a really great event, and we had a good time. But it also made us feel really good that we were able uh, to give back in the way that we always promote that we are going to give back. So it was a really good time for us as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Very nice. Well, thank you so much for explaining a little bit more about GenWEL United and what it
No
is.
problem.
I want to kind of shift gears now and talk a
Okay.
little bit more about you and the coming up with the idea. So my audience is built of individuals who are entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
who are looking to make money. Right,
Hmm.
they're looking
Hmm.
to build generational wealth for themselves and their family.
Hmm.
And I have on as my first guest a gentleman who is a founder and chairman of a nonprofit organization.
Hmm.
So, can you, Ed, talk to me a little bit about going from one step to another and how it's all kind of tied together?
Okay, so generally speaking, just to address one of the things that you said, everybody is in business to make money, and that goes without saying. However, going into business, and when you start to understand the logistics and the proprietary information from your particular industry, field of industry, you have to take into account that money will come regardless of what you do. You could work at McDonald's and make money. You could cut grass and make money. You could sell eggs on the side of the road and make money. Now, not everybody's going to buy these eggs, but somebody will. So when you get the conceptualization of money being the goal out of the way, then you realize what is really important. So one of the things that I wanted to do, which I did with the business as well, the consulting company, is make sure that the service being offered is the value for me and for the recipient. So all of our guys, they're in different tax brackets, if you will, but they all have a singular mind, which is working towards making sure that the value is proper for the recipient and is proper for us. So, in the business sense, everything starts with paperwork. So, the first step is paperwork. What we see is people doing business. We see Mark Cuban and Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, and we see these guys and we say, oh, they wanted to do a business. So they started doing it. Now they're billionaires. I got it. You don't got it. What you got to do is you have to pattern. yourself after what the next iteration of yourself is going to be. Not after these guys, because these guys have walked their own paths and have their own troubles. You have to deal with the place that you are from innovative perspective, from a visionary perspective, from a pioneering perspective, and from a business agenda. So, as a business person, you have to identify your weaknesses. Now, we all believe we know what our strengths are, but most of us also we shun the idea that there are weaknesses that could create obstacles for us to be successful. So, the first thing that you do is make sure that you get all of the basic fundamental particulars out of the way. So, start your business with the Secretary of State in your state. Make sure that you go to the IRS to procure an EIN number or TIN number. Um, Make sure that if you are selling goods, that you create that you obtain a business license. If you're doing business in a different manner other than the one that you have registered with the Secretary of State, make sure you do a DBA and you post the notice in your local newspaper so that everybody knows that you are doing business as this fictitious name is what it's called. There are a few different fundamental steps that you can go to make sure that you are secure from a fundamental level. Foundation is important. Can't build a house on sand. You got to have a foundation. So once the foundation is laid, then you can go into some of the other areas of building. One other thing is that people forget is business credit is real. It exists. And you want to have business credit built and not a personal guarantor credit. You may have an 880 credit score personally, but if you have $1 million business, then that business, if that business has any liability, you are pretty much putting yourself on the hook for whatever that liability is that could be incurred. So build your business credit so that you can actually go and procure loans and grants and different types of funding without having to use your own social security number. It's very important.
Right,
So,
right,
Dun and Bradstreet is most certainly the leader in that. Now, there are a couple other institutions, but Dun and Bradstreet is the Equifax of business credit. So, going and apply for a Dun and Bradstreet number so that you can that's a part of your fundamental foundation. Do that, and
right.
and you will be on your way to not having to worry about the basics. Now you can get into the more intermediate dealings of the business and the area of industry that you are proposing to be in.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that. Those words of wisdom and advice. I know when I was developing my businesses, right? To your point earlier, when you were talking about the naming of GenWEL, this show alone went through about 5 different titles before we landed with Curious Conversations.
Which is an
And
awesome name. I mean, kudos to you for
thank you, thank you.
for
Well,
for finding for
I can't
sourcing
accept
that.
all of the credit for it. My oldest daughter, who is in partnership with me, really helped
Okay,
me think through right the
right.
purpose of the show, and came
Hmm.
up with that name. So
I like it.
to Jordan out there, thank you very much.
Awesome.
Um, but back to what I was saying, as I was putting together my business, there's been several businesses that I put together
Mhm.
that just did not take off the way that I wanted them to,
Right.
because I had that mindset of money involved,
Hmm.
opposed to um, providing a value to someone else so that
Right.
they can thrive and address whatever their needs are.
Right.
And that's what's most important, right? And
Hmm.
whether it's to make money or not to make money, a for-profit or a nonprofit organization, I think the aspect of serving someone else
Hmm.
holds true for both organizations. So
It does. Indeed.
I appreciate that word of wisdom. Thanks, Ed. Tell me who, since you're in, I'm going to say activism, right? You're
Yes.
working to help communities and the underserved. Who was your mentor or that one individual that inspired you um, to pull GenWEL together? Was there one person?
So, indirectly, yes. So the inspiration to create GenWEL. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, I just want to make sure. So the inspiration to form GenWEL came from the George Floyd murder.
Mm.
Um, it was really one of those pivotal moments in my life that I realized that there there was no other time that would be more appropriate to take action than now. And it was paired with Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, and these these situations created uh, a need there, and it identified it highlighted the gap between what is and what needs to be. So my real influence was the people who did not have opportunities to defend themselves or to have their day in court or to be able to go home to their families. That was my inspiration. And because of that, it I realized that the fight, loosely termed, is on us. And part of that fight is for us to turn away from the blame and turn towards the solution. One thing that I tell my guys all the time, I'm sure if you were in close proximity to one of them, they would tell you, is present the problem, but dwell in the solution. And I think that for a long time, we've been calling out the problem and saying, fix this, change this, fix this, change this. But nobody's coming. They're not coming to fix anything for us. They're not coming to change anything for us. We have to fix it. We have to change it. And when we make our minds up to do it, we do it. And so GenWEL is formed from a decision to change as opposed to wait for change.
Can you say that comment again? You said prevent the problem. Say that again.
Pre- Present the problem and dwell in the solution. A
Dwell.
lot of Yes, dwell in the solution, because a lot of times we dwell on the problems. We'll sit and we'll beat a problem until until it's flat, and then but that doesn't eliminate the problem. The problem just went from being uh, a three-dimensional thing to a two-dimensional thing, but it's still a problem. So instead of working on problems, work on solutions. Because if you find the time to work on a solution, then you'll find that you are able to achieve a solution quicker to move on to the next problem. We all have problems. Everybody has a problem they can present at any point, at any given time, at any minute of the day. But we have to focus and turn towards being solutions driven as opposed to being problem centric. So
Awesome. Thank you
I
for
hope
that,
I hope I
Ed.
didn't veer off too far. Sometimes when I
No,
start
no,
talking
that was
about
that was
that.
good. No, I appreciate that, and I'm definitely going to use that quote. Absolutely,
It's free. It's
prevent the
free today.
problem and dwell in the solution.
There you go.
Love it. Love it. All right. Well, now I enjoyed having this opportunity to chat with you, but I'm going to turn to our chat panel and see if there's any questions that have come in from anyone viewing on our in our audience.
Okay.
Let's see. I do have one question that came in.
Mhm.
So the question is, what is the mission?
So the mission of GenWEL United is to serve the underserved. It is to protect the unprotected, and is to uncover the invisible. That is our mission. And we try to do that through the different manners in which we spoke of earlier, through initiatives and community programs, but we also try to do it through education building and owning real estate and teaching how to be a better steward of all things, money included.
Okay. Okay.
Hopefully that answered
Nice.
their question.
If not, they can add additional information in the chat panel and we'll get that over. I'll
For
get that
sure.
to you. Another question that came in. Oh, this is a good question. How
Uh-oh.
can someone provide donations?
So if you go to our website, which is www.genwellunited.org/donate or donations. I believe, I'm not sure if it's donate or donations. Um, but if you go to our site, you'll see the big donations button in the upper right hand corner. If you click there, it will take you to the donations page, and you will be able to submit your donation, which is fully tax deductible, because we are a 501c3 organization. So we are recognized by the federal government. So any donations that you give to us, you will be able to write those off on your taxes, which will lower your tax liability and make you a better person overall because you did something.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Well, it looks like that is, let me double check. Um, let's see. Here's another question that just came in. Is there a way an individual can get involved in GenWell?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is if you go to our website again, which is www.genwellunited.org, all one word and one L, because a lot of people do well because you think well, but it's GenWEL United.org, and hit the contact us button. There are some options for you to give your information and also select in a drop down what you'd like to do. If there is anything that you know pre the pre-visit. But if you are not sure, you just want to do something, just type, hey, could somebody get back to me? And someone most certainly will get back to you about what you can do to help in your community or in any community, and partner with GenWEL to do it in that manner.
Very nice. Very nice. And I think we have one last question. Looks like it's all about uh, participating. Can we volunteer in community service projects through GenWell?
You can indeed. As a matter of fact, there are some initiatives that we have that we rely very heavily on the public and public interaction for people who just want to donate time. Again, you go to www.genwellunited.org, hit contact us. And in this regard, in the drop down, I believe that there is an option to be a volunteer. If you'd like to be a volunteer, most certainly we will give you a call, tell you what things that we have coming up, and then you decide where you'd like to do that, and we will be more than happy to have you.
Absolutely. You know, with the school and a lot of our right that are
Mhm.
students at this time of year, they're looking to do their applications and make sure they have volunteer service hours
Mhm.
for college. So it's a great
Yes,
opportunity for our community youth to participate as well.
it is indeed. And I mean, just from the youth to the elderly, anyone and anyone in between, we
And
most
anyone
certainly
in
welcome.
between.
We will most certainly welcome them. So come on down. GenWEL is the open door policy. Come on, one and all.
All right, everybody. Well, please check out GenWEL United and visit them on all their social media platforms and media outlets. Thank you, Edward, so much for your time today. I
Thank you for
truly
having me.
enjoyed this opportunity to chat with you. Thank you so much.
Hey, this was awesome. I'm going to look back at this recording. I'm going to save it somewhere. So, when you're receiving an Emmy, a daytime Emmy, I can say, you know what? I knew that person.
I say I'm going to be the next Oprah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. The next best Oprah. How about that?
The next best Oprah. Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. Indeed.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Ed.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on. And good luck to you and your show and all your future endeavors. And everybody, hey, stay safe. Go to www.genwelunited.org and check us out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Your information is there on the board. Well, a recording of this show will be available on YouTube at The Lady Executive. Be sure to head over there, like and subscribe. And while you're at it, make sure you join our Facebook group, The Executive Lounge, where you get early access to these live tapings of the show and participate in the live studio audience. Be sure to tune in for our next episode where we're going to be working and speaking with a publishing consultant to understand why it's important for every entrepreneur to be a published author. I want to leave you with this last thought. Remember, experience is the master teacher, and even the experience is not our own. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye now.